While UFC Vegas 61 was an entertaining event with several wild finishes and moments, it will most likely end up being remembered as that show UFC held in an empty arena so Mark Zuckerberg could watch undisturbed. By the time the Dern vs. Yan main event started, everyone knew that Facebook billionaire Mark Zuckerberg was behind the unusual conditions being set up for the evening inside UFC Apex in Las Vegas, Nevada. There were no fans, even the press was not allowed, and according to multiple reports, the fighters' family members were turned away as well. What wasn't clear was the reason. It is no secret that Mark Zuckerberg has been a UFC fan for quite some time and has been practicing MMA lately. He's uploaded some training sessions with his trainer.
Nice!
So, was Zuckerberg just being a fan, or was he going to wow the world by setting up the first UFC event to be broadcast in his much-hyped virtual reality metaverse? Well, let's find out. One media member, Amy Kaplan, was the first to inform the public of the situation. Kaplan put out tweets but kept short of disclosing any details or elaborating further. UFC President Dana White called out the MMA journalist for hinting at a possible reason behind the closed doors of UFC 61, but Dana wasn't prepared for what was ready to unravel. At the pre-fight presser, main eventer Mackenzie Dern seemingly let slip that Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg rented out the whole event. She said, "I know Mark Zuckerberg rented out the whole event, so I know he'll be there, but I don't know if it's just like literally him and his wife, if he's gonna have friends, or if it's just like a small party, I don't know." After Dern said this, the situation got more traction and everybody began to come up with their conspiracies. The speculation got so public that Dana White had to publicly make a statement. The UFC president dropped the hammer on the rumor and made it crystal clear that it's completely false. He said in this tweet, "That's total bullshit." So it was time for Dana to tell the whole truth, but as you know with Dana, he's got his ways of wriggling out of questions. Earlier in the week, White had avoided answering questions about the fight when approached by the media. Instead, he had this to say, and he joked about giving them a night off. "We just figured that you guys have been so busy lately that we give you guys a night off. You guys are here on Tuesdays, you're here on Saturdays, we need to give you guys a break. You're welcome. You guys just stay home, order a pizza and watch the fights, take them in, and enjoy yourselves. There's no big secret, we just want to give you guys a nice weekend off with your families and relax and enjoy yourselves." Nice try, Dana. We don't believe that. So, what is the truth behind the media and fans being shut out of the event? Besides Zuck and his wife Chan, Melinda Davenport, another Meta exec, was on hand. But does one of the richest men in the world not have a friend or two to bring out to the fights? Could this not have been a company night for Meta at the Apex? Hence why the meta theory of the metaverse might actually be true. Many are of the speculation that Zuck plans to include the UFC in the metaverse. Dana White has even expressed interest in the metaverse. Dana said, "We're looking to do a fight in the metaverse. We've been working on it for a while. It'll be a live fight, an actual fight that takes place inside the metaverse. It'd be kids at home. You put your goggles and you can get up and go walk around. We're still working it out, but yeah, it'll be soon. We'll be doing a fight in the metaverse. It'll be a real fight. So get your goggles ready, guys. We're going to the metaverse." Other fans speculated over a potential buyout, suggesting that current UFC owner Endeavor may not be invested in the company for a long time. But despite the theories we can come up with, Mark Zuckerberg being in attendance for UFC Vegas 61 doesn't imply that the social media mogul rented out the UFC Apex for the event. Since the promotion started extensively using the facility during the COVID-19 pandemic, many celebrities have been seen cage-side. But the most credible answer, however, would be that the Apex was cleared out so Zuck and his small posse didn't have to interact with the general public. As such, fighters and fans took to Twitter to give their own take on the matter, with reactions ranging from dismayed to bemused. Nathan Quarry tweeted, "Yes, who of us hasn't bought out an entire arena to watch athletes bludgeon themselves while we can't be bothered to be among the unwashed masses? I'd say for most of us, the lap of luxury involves buying brown mustard." Al Yaquinta tweeted, "The best part about the UFC events live is the crowd going nutso, like stay home bro, WTF. Terrence McKinney tweeted, "They're letting Mark Zuckerberg pick the winner tonight." Brian Kelleher tweeted, "Mark Zuckerberg was like Bigfoot tonight." Dan Ige tweeted, "Somebody should call out Mark Zuckerberg to a fight in the metaverse." Cody Gibson tweeted, "We are living in a simulation, continues to be happening." Josh Nason tweeted, "When I really enjoy something, my first thought is to exclude my fellow fans from enjoying it with me." Luke Thomas tweeted, "Folks getting lost into the question of rent as if that's the central one. The issue is whether everyone else's absence is a function of his presence, not whether that's predicated on a financial transaction." Josh Nash tweeted, A bunch of people fighting for the pleasure of a single billionaire is a little too on the nose if you ask me. When fight night rolled around, Zuckerberg was sitting in the front row with the UFC boss, and by all accounts, they had a great time. The Meta CEO was clearly visible on the ESPN Plus broadcast as he clapped, cheered, and roared on the MMA fighters putting on a show for his party of two. Things got a little too much for his Harvard-educated wife when Trevin Jones and Raoni Barcelos went to war over 3 rounds in one of the final nights of the evening. While Zuckerberg is a big fan of the sport, his wife Priscilla clearly wasn't prepared for the carnage on display at cage side. Chan, who is a doctor, clearly didn't like the bloody fight, and it wasn't long before she went viral as her facial expressions became the talk of social media. The 37-year-old was caught on camera covering her face as the two men battled it out right in front of her. In a comical moment, Chan uncovers her face before instantly regretting it and deciding to hide behind her hands once again. Also, one of the fighters on the card didn't hesitate to use Zuckerberg's presence in the arena to his advantage. UFC heavyweight Ilir Latifi was not at all reticent on the subject of money after his victory. He said, "I know Mark from Facebook is here. You can throw in a bonus too. Help us out." Well, I'm not certain if he ended up getting the bonus, but make your guess. While most MMA critics weren't much appreciative of the fact that Mark Zuckerberg had the entire UFC apex for himself at UFC Vegas 61, Michael Bisping believes the Facebook founder's takeover might actually do the sport well. Zuckerberg has proven that he is a huge MMA fan who also happens to practice jiu-jitsu in his free time. According to Bisping, Zuckerberg watching a live UFC event will now push people from his demographic to take up the sport or watch a UFC event. He said on his podcast, "Mark Zuckerberg was in attendance. Pretty cool to see. I don't know what to think about Mark Zuckerberg. He's a fucking nerd, let's be honest, but he's awesome because he's there and he's watching the UFC. I believe this will open up potentially another realm of people because MMA is hugely and wildly popular, but there's still skeptics, there's critics, and there's still people that won't give it a shot." While White insists Zuckerberg did not buy out the event, it's still unclear why the tech mogul and his wife were the only people allowed in the apex on Saturday night. Guys, thank you for watching this video. That's all for now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell.